Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by Tap and Barrel Grill, the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it going and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping with news that's jaw dropping. They're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride of lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Down the field.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. All right.
With that, welcome to episode 169 of Sports on Tap Detroit, alongside Joe Waddell. I'm Chris Scott. Joe, how are you?
I'm great.
You can't tell.
I'm great.
You literally you can't tell.
Yeah. How are you?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Doing
You're
fine.
doing good. Your team's still in the playoffs.
My team is still in the playoffs, thankfully, but we'll see how if that changes on Sunday. So we'll get into that later. But since we didn't get to do a show Tuesday, so we obviously didn't have like quote instant reaction to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And we also have a new college football national champion.
Yes, we do.
In Ohio State. Congratulations, Brooks. It's funny, after seeing Ohio State win the national championship, just seeing your idiot fan base and their replies to it. It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Like, one asshole was trying to say, like, the Michigan game it was like a scrimmage. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, the majority of your fan base would rather beat Michigan and not win a national championship. You know, when I saw that, I was just like, all right, dude, really? And then another asshole tried to say this is the most dominant national champion ever. I'm like, how? You lost 2 fucking games. And one of them was to your rival, who you were 20-point favorites against.
Yeah.
At home.
2 losses.
What?
2 losses. No conference championship.
What?
Finished 4th in the Big Ten. Got embarrassed by Michigan, a team that you should never have lost to. But in the end, you won the national championship. So,
congrats! I'll give you congratulations for that.
You have the natty. The other shit, stop. You're sounding like Lions fans right now. Stop.
I was just.
You got the natty, and that's what you got. And as a Michigan fan, we'll say it about Michigan. All the other bullshit, when they won the natty, it didn't matter. They won the natty. Who fucking cares?
Right.
So you shouldn't really care, but don't boast and be so big that, come on, man. It's not the greatest national championship team ever. You got 2 losses. You didn't win your conference. You finished 4th in the Big Ten. Shut the fuck up.
What I love is, you know how they print out those T-shirts, like national championship or just championship T-shirts and whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And like on the back they'll put like the records, like the wins, losses, and whatever.
Yep.
Forever and always, that will have versus Michigan.
You
L.
lost. Yep. L.
Which it just makes me laugh. It just I'm sorry. It's again, you got the natty this year. Congrats. It's cool that it stayed in the Big Ten. I'm actually, and you know how I feel about that Big Ten conference nonsense.
Yeah.
But with just how SEC fan is,
Yeah.
I kind of dig it that it's still the national championship still resides
Right.
up north.
You know what's funny? Over the years, I've actually grown a little bit like that too. I don't necessarily root for the Big Ten teams.
No, neither do I. I never have.
But I you're right. For me now, it's like, all right, it is kind of nice that it stayed in the big. You know?
Yeah. Again, with how many years the SEC dominated it, because they were doing exactly what is legal now.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me any different.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing it now. Weird how the turntables have turned. That's other schools are good.
Oh.
Weird.
Back when Alabama Jones was paying his players.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. We've talked about this, like with this NIL stuff. It definitely needs to be curtailed at some point, somehow, because it's absurd. Like, they talk about tampering. That's all the shit is now. Like, you're seeing guys like sign deals before they're even out of school. It's absurd with other schools. So, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to get a quick note in on that about the national championship game and just the absurdity of Ohio State's fan base after the game. So,
Yes.
anyways, we move on to the NFL playoffs, and specifically last week's divisional round, which I know you've been dying to talk about, and I'm here for it.
I've been trolling everybody.
Yes.
That is in the area, and there's a Lions fan. Well, and let's face it, this year there was way more Lions fans than last year.
What?
And way more Lions fans than 2 years ago.
Crazy.
A lot of bandwagon jumpers.
Crazy.
Probably the same ones that expected you and I to be bandwagon jumpers and to jump back on. You did temporarily on Saturday.
Yes.
Yes.
For that brief 5-minute span.
For that 15 minutes there, where you were saying you were downtown supporting your hometown Lions.
Absolutely.
I
was on board.
This is episode 169, titled "A Whore for a Winner," because that's what you are.
Oh, absolutely.
A whore for a winner.
I was all about it, baby. 100%. I was fully on board. Let's go.
For about 15 minutes.
Let's go. I was on the MCDC train, baby. Let's do this.
Oh, you're even using the nicknames too, huh?
That's right. Let's go. I was all about it.
Michael Long, Mr. Long just said, thoughts on why Hendon Hooker did not come in instead of Bridgewater. They actually didn't even have him active for that game.
Oh, Hooker?
Yeah. So I really don't know what their thoughts were on that one, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, he's a rookie.
Yes. Well, not really. Isn't this his second year? This is his second year, right?
By all intents and purposes,
right,
he's
yeah.
a rookie. But
yeah, I think it was because Bridgewater had experience in the offense from before.
Doesn't he have playoff experience too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it was mainly the veteran experience that ended up putting him in there. But I mean, it really didn't matter because he only had to play.
It was like one play.
Yeah, like 1 or 2 plays, and then Goff was back in there. So
Right.
that didn't really come into effect. I would say that it really was the veteran presence and experience that had him in there over Hooker. I want to do something right now. I've just been reveling in how cocky and arrogant Lions fans were before this game, and how I sat in this chair all football season trying to say, humble yourselves. You haven't won anything. Getting text messages from people, oh, look how the Browns are doing. Look at what the Lions are doing. Are you sure you don't want to be a Lions fan? No, I'm good. But you might want to humble yourself because the Lions haven't won anything yet. They had a bunch of injuries. You might want to humble yourself. The NFL has a way of doing that to teams. Mm-hmm. And injuries will easily do that. But no, everyone was cocky as shit. They were going to win. There was no doubt about it. They were going to win. I even got asked, what are you going to do when they win the Super Bowl?
Nothing.
That's exactly, bro. It's exactly what I said. I go nothing. I would nothing it.
I'll turn the TV off and go to sleep.
But I will tell you, I have reveled in the loss because not a single Lions fan saw this coming. They might tell you now, oh, I had my doubts, but before the game, no, there was no doubts. No. You can't fool me. We all saw it. We all heard it. You had no doubts, none. That team was unbeatable.
That's what I was told.
Yep. So we're going to do something now. It's basically, and now deep thoughts by a Lions fan. These are all social media posts after the Lions lost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a female fan. My heart gets broken every single year. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. Here's another one. Right underneath that one. This is a male fan. Heart is broken. I can't get it off. I'm telling you, I'm gonna laugh by reading all these. After what I saw yesterday, the Lions might just put 40 on the Eagles. Another fan, this did not age well.
No.
POS Goff is going to be the reason we lose. That was during the game. Let's see. Time to move on from Ben Johnston.
Now, hold on. I want to go back to the previous one.
Yeah.
POS Golf. It's funny you say that during that game.
Yep.
Yet, I guarantee you the entire season, he was your hero.
Jared Goff.
Exactly.
They were even chanting his fucking, which I want to say something about too. They were even chanting his fucking name at Red Wings games.
Yep.
Can we stop with chanting names
They're
of
doing that at
players?
Tigers games.
Can
everywhere.
we stop?
Pistons games everywhere.
Chant it at the fucking game he's
Yeah.
at, which is where he plays in the Lions.
Yeah.
Don't chant it at Red Wings games. Why? That's stupid.
I didn't understand it, but
So here's another one. And some of these I'm going to tell you is it's disheartening to me how people in the area who are Lions fans can't spell and don't know the names of the people or the players or anything like that.
did they spell lose Loose?
I think there's one of those in here, but there's a couple misspellings, and I will say them as I do them.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. As soon as I see
Loose.
you spell that,
Loose.
like anything you say, it has zero relevance to me.
It's unbelievable. But anyway, so here's one. Time to move on from Ben Johnston with a T.
Yep.
That's not his name, folks. And Aaron Glenn. Don't let them come back regardless. They put themselves over the team by taking interviews. Do we want to hit on that later? We'll hit on that later,
We'll hit
right?
on that later, yes.
Dennis says, no chant at last night's game.
Weird how that works.
That's funny how that works, man. I'm so glad you chimed in on that one, Dennis. Thank you. Let's see. Moving on. This is called Karma, spelled with a C.
Is that like a stripper?
I guess he was talking about a stripper. I think he was probably trying to talk about actual Karma, which is spelled with a K.
That's I checked, yes.
Yeah, this is called Karma at its finest.
Karma Kramer?
Yep. They did Hooker so dirty. They made him an inactive 4 hours before the game for a guy who retired. Hooker was here for OTAs, all the injuries in the last 20 weeks. And what does MCDC do? Tells him to sit this one out, kid. Okay.
You think those
Yeah,
one or two plays that Bridgewater was in
like-
for really? That's why.
Well, this comment I don't understand because it didn't matter which one was in there. They didn't make a difference. The reason, and we talked about it with Mr. Long, is it was the experience.
Yeah.
But that had nothing to do with the game. Not Hooker not dressing had nothing to do with the game.
Zero.
Here's one by a Lions fan. Golf lovers are quiet today. Quiet spelled quite, by the way. Did not spell quiet right. Yeah, I know. I'm glad it upsets you like it does me. Another one. Literally the most embarrassing loss in Detroit sports history.
No, absolutely not. I don't
That's
even think it makes the top 10.
that's why I saved this one because I'm like, what?
That doesn't even make the top 10.
I mean, it's embarrassing because you fans were so arrogant about it.
No, that doesn't even make the top 10.
Here's one, not from a Lions fan, just about Lions fans. It says Lion fans in shambles right now. LMAO. That was from another fan of another fan base, which I don't blame him. Aaron Glenn's ego spent too much time interviewing for jobs and not prepared for Washington. We'll touch on that later, just like the other one. Why can't this city have good things? This is apropos. Goff's third pick ends the Lions' dream season. So this is what depression feels like. Losing is one thing, but to get your ass kicked in your own house as a 1 seed is embarrassing. We got outplayed, outcoached, and punched right in the mouth.
I agree $1,000,000% with that.
Yeah, and apparently this guy plays for Lions. He said we, so he must.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Jason Johnson. Maybe he's Ben Johnson.
Phonics
Maybe he's.
Well played, Dennis.
Here's one. We are seeing the results of Ben Johnson, spelled correctly, and Aaron Glenn putting themselves over the team by taking interviews instead of fully locking in the past 2 weeks. We'll touch on that. Ain't never going to win a Super Bowl with Goff. He ain't that guy. Said it since the trade. Fun ride this year. Goff will regress minus BJ. He just said BJ because he didn't want to have to spell Ben Johnson.
Right.
Promote Ben Johnson to head coach. Dan Campbell has made a lot of meathead decisions over the year. He can't coach in big games.
We've talked about that.
These comments are all over the place, though.
We've talked about that.
We have.
Dan Campbell.
Uh-huh.
Was it? People all, are always first say, "Oh, he's a great head coach." Is he though?
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
Right? Is he? I mean, listen, he makes fans and players want to run through a wall for him.
Great.
But apparently they don't want to run through a wall that was built in Washington.
I get it, but it's like, is it him or is it the guys he has around him?
We're about to find out.
We are about to find out.
Here's another wasted year. Goodbye, Johnson and AG. How are we all feeling this sad Sunday morning? I'm done with this team. I can't take the mediocrity anymore. Doesn't matter if we're, it's spelled W-H-E-R-E, by the way. Doesn't matter if we're, where. 0-16, 12-5, 15-2 with a first-round bye. With home field advantage, this team will never win.
They all crazy. It's the damn ref's fault.
Well, there's one of those comments in here too, Dennis.
Good.
I'm getting to it.
Good.
No bullshit. Goff threw the game on purpose, going from a fantastic quarterback to a loser. That was an actual comment. Love that one.
It's a good one.
Let's see. So I have Lions cards and a Goff jersey up for sale. Tired of being sold fake dreams. Anyone interested? Oh man, I can't wait. I love these fucking things. I am all on board with this. Let's see. Here's the last one. Lions versus the Refs 2024.
Right.
Yep.
That's
And
yeah.
here is the one that I told you about before the show of comments about Lions fans in Florida watching a game.
Yeah.
Random guy says, I'm at a bar in Florida. No stake in the game, just observing. My team is already thoroughly eliminated. I watched as a packed bar of Lions fans who couldn't stop running their mouths before kickoff slowly vanished into the night as the game unfolded. Most of them were rocking shiny new jerseys with names like Gibbs and Branch. Looking so fresh, I half expected to find tags still hanging off of them. It's like they just swung by the team shop on the way into the bar. Now, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of diehard Lions fans who've stuck with the team through all of the pain and heartbreak. But this season seems to have drawn out some bandwagon roaches out of the shadows.
Big time.
The moral of the story is stay humble, especially if you're the Lions and the Lions fans. And for the love of all that is holy, leave the Kid Rock jerseys at home, you tools.
Oh, yeah.
Like we discussed at the bar at length, if this dude actually bought this jersey or made it custom, either possibility is so sad and likely the reason they lost tonight.
Now, it's funny you bring that up because as we kind of joked about earlier when I was downtown on Saturday I was at McShane's for the Arsenal game, which was at 12:30, and obviously the Lions game was at, 6:30?
Yes.
So...
No. It was at 8.
Or 8, I'm sorry. So
it was 8 o'clock.
So obviously after the Arsenal game, you started seeing Lions fans, roll into bars to,
Oh, of course.
have their drinks, whatever, before the game, that's what you do.
Yeah,
you go to a game, that's
you
what you
get
do.
turned up.
But in seeing that in all its glory, it was so fucking easy to pick out the bandwagoners from the true, real Lions fans. It was incredibly fucking easy. I almost thought about going to get a Lions jersey myself, just to fit in.
You did. You said it in the text.
I said, yeah.
You were downtown supporting your hometown Lions.
100%. I was all on board, baby. But yeah, it was. You could have just sat there at the bar, and just gone, bandwagon. It was incredibly easy to do.
You probably could have said it's the same thing. You probably could have sat there and went, doesn't know football.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't know football. Has no idea how to play the game. Doesn't know the rules. Will yell that the refs screwed every play up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it works.
Or the guy that we talked about this before the show.
This is great. You got to tell this one.
So I'm sitting there, and I tap my buddy on the shoulder, and I go, I go, look at this dude's jersey. And it was one of the new black ones. I think it was a St. Brown jersey. And
Wait, St. Brown or the Sun God?
whatever. Sun God, St. Brown, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
I gave Frank shit the other day because he said something about Sun God in a text. And I'm like, your fandom irritates the shit out of me, dude. Like you're calling them by their fucking nicknames is such honkerism.
It's so dumb. Anyways, so I tap
Love
him
you,
on the
Frank.
shoulder and I go, look at this dude's jersey. He goes, yeah, what about it? I go, do you notice anything off about it? And he's looking at it and he goes, oh my God, it's got sparkles on it. I'm like, yeah, like around the numbers. I go, this dude either doesn't know that's a Chick's fucking Lions jersey or he just didn't fucking care. And he's like, I have to wear a Lions jersey to fit in down here.
He was downtown.
Yes.
He
He was with his either wife or girlfriend.
Okay, so he was going downtown with a bunch of Lions fans.
Yep.
I guarantee this is the way it played out. Going downtown with a bunch of Lions fans. Ran out to buy a Lions jersey last minute because he wanted to fit in.
Yep.
And didn't know he bought a female jersey. Or
He's from Ferndale.
Or had to Dennis. Or he borrowed one from his chick because he didn't have one and just wanted to fit in.
Right.
Either way, that guy was down there not knowing anything about the team or football.
Right. And thinking that nobody would notice.
Right.
That the jersey you're wearing
It was a female jersey.
has like sparkles around the number.
Yeah.
But it was now it wasn't like egregious, but it was enough that you're like, dude, that's you can tell, you know.
Yeah.
And so we just got a really good laugh out of it.
It is a good laugh.
It was actually pretty funny. So
That's awesome.
but he fit in. He was there. He was in all his fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Go sports. Yay, sports ball.
I want to read this too because Frank sent this.
Okay.
And I love that Frank is a huge Lions honk. I would say out of Frank and Eric, Frank is the bigger Lions honk than Eric.
You know what? I disagree with that.
Eric,
I disagree.
really?
I do.
See, I don't.
I disagree simply because Frank is also a fan of the Raiders. And this is why I think Eric is a bigger honk because the Lions are his team. Like, that's it. Because Frank, when the Lions do shitty, he can be like, I got the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are dog shit. And when the Raiders are dog shit, he jumps all on board with.
I can say that as far as supporting the team, like Eric supports him, but he's I can't say Frank's not realistic, but Frank definitely buys in faster than Eric.
He does.
Eric all year was still like, I don't know. Now, our buddy Sean at work was full on board, like fucking raging boner about this team all year. But I will say, Frank sent this, and this is funny as hell because it's true. If every NFC North team went to school, the Green Bay Packers would be the jock who always talks about his family's sports history. The Bears would be the kid who is obsessed with the 80s and always gets beat up by the jock. The Minnesota Vikings are the kid who matched with some girls on Tinder but always got ghosted.
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah.
And the Lions are the nerdy virgin who finally touched a boob and won't shut up about it.
I think all of these are spot on.
They are fucking spot on. And then when Eric gave us the invite to come to his house to watch the game that night, which I really didn't feel like getting anywhere. I like watching football at my house most of the time, so I was already I was like, I'm not going anywhere. If it was a different game, maybe. Lions game, I responded in the text. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm comfortable at home, and I don't feel like going and spending the evening with a bunch of nerds who finally touched a boob and can't stop talking about it.
Right.
No, I'm good. And I think that's the best way to describe this team and this fan base right now is there was no success here for a long time. It was always wishes and dreams and hopes and draft. And then finally they were good. They are good. But they got really cocky. And here's the thing. As good as they were, you learned the regular season really doesn't mean anything.
No.
And you learned that just because you go 15-2 and you have the number 1 seed, you still haven't won anything. The team has still not won anything. They haven't won a conference championship. They haven't won a Super Bowl. Humble yourselves. They haven't won anything yet. They finally touched a boob last year and haven't been able to stop talking about it for 2 years now. And they went to touch the boob this year, and she swiped the hand away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even let you touch it a second time.
Yeah, that's a good thought about that.
So I fucking love it.
No, it's and yeah, are they going to be good next year? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they will.
They're going to be good next year.
They're going to have some hiccups, though, because I'll tell you, if learn from Philadelphia, who's back in the playoffs this year and playing in the championship game. Last year, they took a step back when they lost both their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
That will happen.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see how it can't.
I don't either.
And yes, will you get Hutch back and that'll help? Of course it will.
Of course it will. And I'm sure Holmes will draft well again because he does.
Yeah. So they're going to be good again, and then you'll see it like week 3, week 4.
I tell you what, though,
Lions fans are going to start talking shit again.
Yep. Not this year.
Yeah.
But I think it's coming up next year. They're going to have to make some tough decisions on payroll.
Yep.
Because some of these players are going to have to start getting paid.
They are. Yes, absolutely.
So you got that coming for you too, guys.
But again, like they
Stay
said,
humble.
like week 3, week 4, you're going to start seeing it again. Their chest puffed out, and
Oh yeah.
you know, we're last year was
yeah.
a fluke, blah blah
Oh,
blah.
yeah.
You know, this, that, and the other thing, bullshit, whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But you know who isn't a fluke?
Jason Stilton from Flagstar Bank.
Yes. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we kind of teased during this little rant.
We talking about the coaches now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, apparently, and I saw a lot of this on social media after the game. Basically, fans just straight up blaming the coordinators, specifically Ben Johnson.
Yep.
Aaron Glenn to a degree, but specifically Ben
I was
Johnson.
to say it was mainly Ben Johnson.
It really was, yes. It was mainly aimed at Ben Johnson.
For every 10 comments about one of the coordinators
Yes.
taking a job, I'd say 8 were about Ben Johnson and
absolutely.
2 were about AG.
Big time. So, what I found funny about this is, first of all, you people are fucking, I'm sorry, you guys are fucking retards that are mad at Ben Johnson for this. Or think it was his fault. When literally 2 weeks previous, you were praising him, saying, give him the bag, anything he wants to stay here.
Right.
But one game, you're like, oh, he fucking sucks, fuck that guy. He was too focused on another job.
Right. He wasn't focused on winning.
Okay.
He wasn't he coaches football.
Yep.
The biggest prize in football is the Super Bowl, at which your team is favored at this point
Yep.
to win.
Yep.
As a professional coach, he wasn't focused on winning the Super Bowl. He was focused on taking a job with the Chicago Bears team that won, 4 fucking games last year? That was his focus, and that's
Right.
why you lost?
You don't think...
Come on.
You don't think he'd want to go to another job with that on his resume, that he was part of a team, and a major part of the team, that won a Super Bowl?
Maybe the biggest part of the team.
Maybe the biggest part of the team that won, especially with that particular franchise. You don't think
Right.
he wanted that?
See, and you hit it right on the head there. Not only would going to a new franchise to be a head coach after winning the Super Bowl
Yeah.
would be a feather in your cap, but you're a head coach you're a coach in the NFL. You want to win a Super Bowl. That's what everybody in the NFL wants to do. But not only that, you would be winning the Super Bowl with the Detroit fucking Lions.
Yeah.
That's the biggest feather in your fucking cap you could ever have.
100%. And and another thing is, like, people want to bitch about the trick plays in that game and shit like that. Again, throughout this entire season, you guys literally had zero problem with it.
Preach.
Zero problem with it. But he does it in the playoff game, and it doesn't work. Oh, he fucking sucks. His focus was elsewhere. Seriously? This is why I hate your fucking fan base. Because of stupid shit like that. Now, I know other fan bases have people like this. Every fan base has people like this. I get it. But since we're so close to it, we see it.
We're inundated with it.
We're inundated with it. And it's too much. It's like
It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
it's and I know you guys have put up with losing forever. I get it. So when you're successful and your team loses, it's tougher to take. I get it. But when you say stupid shit like that, like, I'm sorry, I can't take you serious. I can't.
There's a big portion of every NFL fan base that I can't take seriously because they
Yes.
really don't know football.
They don't.
They just root for the logo.
Right.
Or because they live in the city or you know what I mean, they live near there.
I get this with Bills fans, right? Like, after last year and the previous year and certain games this year and people want Sean McDermott fired, I'm like, that's justified. He's made some really stupid fucking mistakes that have cost his team fucking games. But you're not a true fan. Why would you want me? Look at what he's done. He's won the AFC East 5 years in a row. I'm like, you're rooting for the logo, dude. You're not seeing the underlying shit here.
Right. You're not seeing football.
Exactly. You're not seeing.
You're seeing the logo.
Yes. Like, it's awesome that they've won the division 4 straight years. I love that. That's fucking fantastic. But what have you done in the playoffs? You've been embarrassed in the playoffs because some of it is on you. But people don't want to see that. They don't want to.
Nope.
They don't want to admit that. It's like, no, this isn't about the logo. This is about why you're not getting over that hump. You know, and people don't want to see that, and it's truly infuriating. It really is. But so coming out of this after Ben Johnson signed with the Bears, right? Mm-hmm. The one person who I actually found it very surprising was like the most rational about this was their radio play-by-play guy, Dan Miller. So somebody on Twitter.
Wait, isn't he TV play-by-play?
No, he does radio.
Oh, he's radio?
Yeah.
Okay.
He does. I think no, he does radio. That's it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, so somebody posted this on Twitter after Ben Johnson signed with the Bears and says, all of us have seen the guy who's playing out his 2 weeks notice while his heart and focus is already at the next job. Great for him, but tough for a team he's leaving behind. That's what Ben just did. No, that's not what he did. However, Dan Miller responded to him, and I respect this response. Says, some of you would apparently never take a better job with a massive raise at a competitor. Who cares where Ben Johnson goes? I'm happy for him. And now he's on the list of people who need to get their ass kicked on any given Sunday. Just handle your business. Spot on. You're telling me if a competitor to your company offered you the bag, which Ben Johnson got the bag, you wouldn't leave?
Oh, I would leave in a heartbeat.
Like that's like to the guy who made the original post, that's what you just said.
Right.
That you would really? You wouldn't leave? Frankly, if you wouldn't leave, you're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're a fucking idiot.
You're a dumbass. And in all honesty, if you really think that an hour Zoom meeting or an hour interview with a team throughout a 2-week period distracts you from wanting to win a Super Bowl and do your best in the playoffs, it distracts you from that, you're kind of stupid too. I'm sorry.
Now,
it's dumb.
And getting to the actual in-game stuff. Yeah, were there some questionable play calls? Absolutely there was.
To me, that game was no different than every game all year that I've seen.
And that's my point. That's my point.
The only reason fans have a problem with it right now is because
work.
they lost.
Because it didn't work.
Right. Here's the funny thing. Dan Gamble got out Dan Gambled by another Dan Gamble.
And that's what I love. We even talked about it last week going into that game. I'm like, these guys, there's going to be like no punts in this game. It's going to be fucking awesome. And that's what I loved about it.
They're gonna, every team, both teams were going to go for it on fourth down all the time.
Like like that first one when the Commanders didn't get it on fourth down. I loved that they went for it on fourth down, and then I knew they were going to go for it on fourth down.
Yep.
But I was like, after they didn't get it, I'm like, oh shit, they might be they might be in trouble here. Exactly,
Yep.
they might be in trouble here. But then I saw the JMO trick play, and I'm just like, oh god, you're down 10.
Oh.
That's what when you've been gashing them the entire fucking game running the ball. Like, why did you go away from that? That made no sense. And that's the thing. He can overrule Ben Johnson. He can be like, no, we're not fucking doing this. Like, let's keep doing what we're doing. It's working.
Yep.
And in doing so, you're keeping Jaden Daniels off the fucking field, who just lit your fucking defense up.
Yep.
He embarrassed your fucking defense.
Yep.
So, but people want to blame a Zoom meeting that he had as to why this all went down. No, that's not what happened here, people. Like, again, you guys had no problem with it the entire fucking season when they're doing these razzle-dazzle plays and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it in the playoffs, and it didn't work. Oh, his focus was elsewhere.
Yep.
No, that's not how this works, morons.
No, it's not at all. And I'm actually going to see if I have. So there was a local media person here that I wanted to play a little bit of.
Oh, good.
If I can pull it up here,
Very
because
good.
this was one of the worst takes and aged so poorly.
Old takes exposed. I love it.
Yeah. This just aged really poorly. I played it for Eric the other day, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "You're gonna play that on the show, aren't you?" I'm like, "I'm gonna try." So see if I can get this to come through here.
I hope so. I hope it does.
Yeah.
But that's like
You want Detroit, then you got Detroit.
Yep.
Oh, here it is.
And Commanders fans, Detroit's got you and your third worst rushing defense in the NFL and your rookie quarterback and just an insane environment Saturday night where we got all day to get right, if you know what I mean. You have no concept of what you're walking into. None whatsoever. We are 60 minutes away from hosting an NFC championship game. And if you thought that I was going to roll in here today and just be calm about that and say, let it play out and stuff like that, I will not. And this, we can just record and run back tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, I'll be even more extra about it. We are 60 minutes away from hosting the NFC championship game here in Detroit to go to the Super Bowl. We are 60 minutes from. You think that you're going to walk in here and stop that from happening?
Stand on business,
You?
Neil. Stand on business.
And your awful defense and your rookie quarterback? You think you're going to stop that? Ain't no way.
All right, so that was Neil Rule.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say who it was, but yes,
That was Neil Rule. I know who it was.
Yes, that was Neil Rule.
The one thing he didn't say in this idiotic rant
Yeah.
that Washington, they were playing with house money. They had nothing to lose, bro.
Yep.
They had nothing to lose. Do you think they gave two fucks about walking into that environment and who they were playing?
So I have another clip from the same person.
Good.
A different one.
Good. Play it.
So I'm going to play it right now. This, that was idiotic to me. I was just like, hold on. Sorry.
Go to the. If he runs the ball 10 times, he's going to go to the blue tent once.
Yeah.
I promise you that. And I won't feel bad about it. I'll look you right in the eye right now. This isn't about friendship. If he puts himself at risk, he's going to pay the price. And if it takes a flag to do it, then it takes a flag to do it. He runs.
So you want to know which quarterback actually ended up in the blue tent?
Yeah.
That'd be Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of arrogant radio hosts in the Detroit area whose opinions the next day or after the game were just fucking unbelievable, it's there. Did not age well.
No.
Did not age well at all.
No, I love that you're quote standing on business.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we talked about earlier in the show. Is you guys had already thought like you won the game.
I love the fact that you know who that was.
Oh yeah, I
Did
know
you
who-
hear that already?
His stupid fucking voice. I know who it was.
Oh, okay,
yes.
gotcha.
But yeah, the fact that you guys thought you had already won the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was no doubt they're winning this
Yeah.
game.
But again, you forgot to take into account
What we talked about the week before.
they were playing with house money. They didn't care.
expect to be
No,
there.
they're not supposed to be here. They don't give a shit. They see your 15-2 record. They're like, okay, great.
Fantastic.
Like, we can go in there. We have zero pressure on us. And they played like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why they won the game.
Yep.
But go ahead, Neil Rule. Stand on your business.
So here's one other thing I wanted to bring up too. I said in the group chat I would bring up as a discussion topic, right? So because we were talking about AG and Ben Johnson getting jobs,
Yes.
and it is a narrative with the NFL that black head coaches don't get the same fair shake that white head coaches do. And it was said in our chat. Frank is the one that said, AG, he won't last. He was basically dogging him as a coach, which I don't necessarily think he's going to be a good head coach either. But he also said, he might end up being back after 1 year because you know how the NFL, is quick to pull the trigger on black head coaches.
Right.
So I've disagreed with that for a while. And so I did just about 10 minutes of research to back up my thoughts on this. And I would be telling you this even if it didn't back up my thoughts because I said I was going to bring it up on the show. I think it's a decent topic. I think it's a topic to discuss.
Okay.
So if I was wrong, I would still bring it up because that's who I am. But I'm going to tell you.
That's who I care about.
And that's who I care about. But that's not the case. So I only went back to 2001. I didn't go back too far. I went to 2001.
I think it's a pretty good
So
sample
24 years.
I think that's a pretty good sample
Yeah.
size. Yeah.
So I didn't go back to the 80s or anything like that. So since 2001, there have been 19 head coaches fired within or right after their first year.
Yeah.
And the total of black head coaches in that number is 7 out of 19.
Okay.
So, no, the narrative that black head coaches get fired more quickly than white head coaches is not true. Because out of the amount of the 19 head coaches that lasted 1 year, the majority of them are white.
Right.
So, no, it's not that they don't get a fair shake after the first year, during the first year. It's if you're not doing the job, you're going to get let go.
Now, to that, I will, I guess, counter with this. That I don't think black head coaches get the same opportunities as white do.
If you want to argue that one, I would have to look into it, but I would say you're probably right that yes, when it comes to getting the head coach job.
That's what I'm talking. Yes.
Yes. But if you're just talking about coaches not getting
no.
a fair shake after the first year or during the first year,
Right.
no, I think that's a bad narrative. Now, if you want to say that, and I think it's gotten better over the last few years,
Yeah.
but I would say that, yes, over the years, there's been way more white head coaches than black head coaches, and they haven't gotten the fair shake when it comes to getting the head coaching job.
Right. Salah he's going back.
He's
to
going
San
back to the
Francisco.
Niners, Jeremy. Nice try, though.
Yeah.
I know you're a Lions honk and you really want that, but no, he's going back to the Niners.
Yes, he is.
I'm just talking shit, Jeremy. Still love you, buddy, but you're a Lions honk. He's not going to Lions.
I mean, I thought that would have been a great replacement for AG if
I mean, it would have been, but not
yeah.
getting him because he wants to go back to the Niners.
Yeah. So yeah,
He doesn't give a shit about Detroit, even though he's from here. He wants to go back to the Niners.
Right.
He's like, fuck your franchise.
Yes. Fuck your franchise.
Fuck your franchise.
But you got anything else on that game?
I
Anything
don't.
Lions
I
related?
don't. I'm done. I just have reveled.
I think
in
we
the fact.
eviscerated them pretty good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And just kind of the stupid nonsense that went along with.
Oh, we could go on for days about that, but we're not going to.
All right, so getting into the rest of the divisional round, Chiefs take out the Texans 23-14. And, of course, what would a Chiefs game be without questionable calls?
Controversy?
Yes, exactly. Now, the roughing the passer one, where even Troy Aikman was like, "Come on."
He's like, "No, come on."
That was an absurd penalty call. It was.
Yes.
Like, come on, what the fuck are we doing here?
It
And then the other
absolutely
one where Patrick Mahomes like fakes and he like late slides. It's like, okay, like what do you do there?
was. I mean, there's nothing you can do there.
Right. And that's what I feel bad for a defensive player. Like, what do you do? You know,
As the defensive player, there's nothing you can
I
do.
almost look at it this way: like they're gonna call it anyways. Drill them.
Might as well drill him.
Fucking drill
right?
'em.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get called
You're
anyway.
gonna get, if you breathe on him wrong, you're gonna get called.
Because you're jumping at him anyway,
Yeah.
and then he starts to slide, so you're gonna hit him.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well
Just lay his ass out, like the dipshit earlier just said it.
Yeah.
Your crew is gonna be on the blue tent.
Yeah.
Put him in the blue tent.
Yeah.
You know. And I don't want to see that to happen to any player because that sucks. You don't want to ever see that.
No, but it does suck for a defensive player to literally know that you have no option. Like
None.
there's nothing you can do,
And
you're gonna
especially if it's a certain guy, like you're fucked.
For sure.
You're fucked.
yeah.
You know, and that sucks. It takes away from the game. It does.
I'll be honest with you, my hatred for the Chiefs is is growing immensely.
I mean, it's
It's nearing Adam Gase
oh wow.
territory.
That's high up there.
Yeah, it's nearing Detroit Lions
that's
territory.
that's some next level hatred.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's getting there. So you're talking about. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
You and I always say the conspiracy theories are bullshit. Stop with that shit. But then again, we come in here and we also say, well, with that being said, no more questionable calls in a Chiefs game.
It's funny,
and we've
like-
been doing it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Where there's been questionable calls in Chiefs games for like 3 or 4 years. You're like, all right, come on. Like, what are we doing?
It's somebody actually broke this down, like how many penalties go against the Chiefs, and they're not even close to being the most penalized team in the league. They're just not.
No.
But it's the type of calls that they
Right.
get, and when they get them, that it's just like
It's not that it's so overbalanced to where they're getting all the calls and the
Right.
other teams are not, but it's the timing of them and the type of calls.
Right.
It's the calls that extend drives.
yes, or
It's-
kills drives.
kills a drive for the other team.
Right.
It's the call that puts them on the 1 yard line for pass interference for them to score the go ahead touchdown.
Right.
Like it's those kind of calls. It's the pass interference where it would have been 4th down and now all of a sudden it's pass interference, or it's roughing the passer and they get a first down. It's those type of calls.
It's those type of calls.
Certain calls mean more than others.
Oh yeah, big time.
A 5-yard holding call, a 5-yard defensive holding call, even though it's automatic first down, or an offsides call, or what. Those penalties don't mean as much as roughing the passer calls that give you an automatic first down and move you the ball up, an unnecessary roughness penalty, a defensive pass interference penalty. Those calls mean more in certain situations. It's just the way it works.
And that's why I'm curious to see, obviously, the AFC Championship game, because the crew that they have this weekend, they call the most penalties in the league.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. Especially when one of the Chiefs' offensive linemen literally false starts every play. Like every play.
The tackle?
Yes, Jawan Taylor.
Yep.
He false starts every play.
Every play.
So I'm curious to see if they call it, which they're not going to call it. They haven't called it the entire fucking season.
They
so
won't.
it makes you think they're going to start now.
They won't.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then like there's one with, and I'll keep it fair. There's Dawkins on the Bills offensive line. He tends to like drag guys down. He like pulls them down when he's blocking.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't get called. Okay, fine. Then you're gonna call it both ways.
Right.
But
Or if you're not going to call it,
Leave it, let it go.
Then let it go both
let it go.
ways.
Exactly, let it go both ways.
Don't be selective
Exactly.
where you make the calls.
Exactly. Like, 'cause I can totally see this happening. That'll be one like late in the game. Oh, now we're gonna call this. Oh,
Yep.
we just saw it. No.
Been happening the entire game.
Stop
Yeah.
it. Anyways, moving on to the Eagles-Rams. Eagles move on to the NFC Championship game, taking out the Rams. I thought it was a decent game. Saquon Barkley is an absolute fucking monster.
Dude,
Good Lord.
he's otherworldly, bro.
I seriously think he is the closest running back to Barry Sanders.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
And the funny thing is people saw it before, but there were doubters before because he played for the Giants. He had some injury problems. But now that he's on Philly,
He was a Penn State running back.
right. But like now everyone's just seeing what the rest of everybody saw originally. It's like, no, this dude is fucking
It's
amazing.
weird when you play for a competent franchise. What happens?
Yes. The other thing I want to say is Jalen Hurts is still hurt,
Oh, yeah, big time. His knee is fucked.
and there's no way he should actually be playing.
No.
But he is.
He has to.
They have no choice.
They have zero choice.
So he's out there gutting it out. I give the guy credit. But
Now, if they're smart, what they'll do, like what the Detroit Lions did, here's Saquon. You're going to run the ball like 50 times.
or you can, so he ran the ball 26 times in that last game.
Yeah.
He's going to hit 30 carries in this
Oh,
game.
easy. Easy.
He will hit 30 carries in this game.
Absolutely. Easy. And not only is he going to run the ball, I can see a lot of like swing
There's
passes,
gonna be-
screens.
He's going to catch the ball. In the
Oh,
backfield,
yeah.
too, yep.
You're going to touch the ball a lot on Sunday.
Yes. I'll be honest with you. There's a bet out there. You can take Jaden Daniels and Saquon Barkley to combine for 200 rushing yards and a touchdown. I think Saquon hits that by himself. So I would easily take that bet.
I might have to jump on that.
I would easily take that bet. I would.
What's
I
it-
would
what's it
even
going off at?
I would even do. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up right now. But I would even do it at like. Honestly, I would probably even think about it at 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, because those two guys rushing the football.
Yeah.
Saquon's going to hit 200 by himself.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so, Saquon might hit 202 touchdowns by himself. So yeah, I mean, 250 yards combined and 2 touchdowns. I'd
Right.
probably do that one too. So
Yeah,
they're going to hand the ball to him so much. He's going to be exhausted.
Oh, big time. But getting back to that game against the Rams, I legit thought that the Eagles were going to blow that game. They tried to.
They tried.
They tried to.
They
I mean,
tried.
I think I even posted on Twitter. I'm like, the Eagles are going to fucking blow this shit, especially after that Saquon touchdown, that big ass run he had
Yeah.
for a touchdown. I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, all right, dude, this game's probably toast, especially with how it was snowing and shit like that. And then I saw the Rams. And credit to the Rams, they didn't let that knock them out. They went right back down the field and scored.
Oh yeah.
And that's, again, credit to the Rams, credit to Stafford, etc. And I'm like, dude, the Eagles are going to fucking blow this, aren't they? But obviously it didn't happen. The Eagles ended up.
Well, and here's the thing: is looking at it, they are going to have to rely on Saquon the rest of the way, because truly, if you're anybody that knows football and watches it and really watches it, like you and I have said, Jalen Hurts is by far nowhere near 100% right
No.
now. He is hurt,
Big time.
and it is hindering what they can do.
He can't run.
He can't.
He literally can't run.
absolutely cannot run right now.
No, he barely, like, you can see his throws. They're not, they have, like, no zing on them.
Because he can't put
Yeah,
pressure
he
on
can't
that
plant.
leg.
He can't plant. Yeah. But, I mean, well,
I guarantee you, so when the season's over with, whether it's if they lose before the Super Bowl or whether they win the Super Bowl, whatever, whenever the season's over with, it will come out that Jalen Hurts has a significant injury.
probably some sort of, like, ACL, MCL type shit.
It
Like,
will
like they
be-
do after the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yep.
Where you see what these guys were playing with. It's like,
Yep.
oh.
It will come out where he has a significant injury.
Right. You know who doesn't have injuries?
The Joe Wright Group.
That's right. Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Happy Chinooka.
It's been a minute since I've heard that. It's a good one. Yes. Then we move on to the Bills-Ravens game. This game kind of went the way I thought it would. We thought it was going to be a slugfest, and it was. 2 good teams. Just one team happened to make more mistakes than the other one. And that, honestly, if you think about it, that was the difference in the game.
It was.
I
It
feel,
was. I don't think either team outplayed the other one.
No, I don't either.
And here's the thing too. I know everyone, including myself, is Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't really outplay Lamar in this game.
He didn't.
And that's the truth. Yes, he ran in 2 touchdowns. Okay. One was from 1 yard out, the other one was from 4, right? It's not like he had long runs.
Right.
He only passed for 127 yards. His passer rating was only 86.7.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, 254, 2 touchdowns, 114 rating.
Yep.
It's not that Allen outplayed Lamar. So in this one, I am not on board with people saying Lamar can't win the big one because Lamar played well. And by all accounts, if Mark Andrews catches that fucking 2-point conversion, it may be a different game. So I'm not on board with blaming Lamar on this one. I'm sorry, I'm not.
No.
You want to blame the team?
No.
Yes. Yes, the team failed in that one. And the Bills took advantage of it. But if you're just going to say Lamar failed and
No.
Josh Allen succeeded,
No.
I'm not on board with
I'm
that
not
one.
going to say that.
I know you're not. I'm just saying people out there are saying that. I know you're not.
I don't understand that, but I don't know why anybody would say that because that's not what happened.
It's
here.
not what happened.
Did Lamar have a horrendous turnover? Yeah, he did. Like the interception was awful. It was
Yeah.
bad. But then the two other, the fumble by Andrews and then the drop pass by Andrews. Oh my God, I feel so bad for that guy. I really do, man.
I do too, but I want to give a shout out to your fan base.
Oh, I saw that. They're up to like 100 G's into his charity.
They donated, yeah, so they started a GoFundMe for his charity.
Yeah.
For what is it? Diabetes and youth
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Youth diabetes or something like that. And because he has diabetes, right? And
Diabetes?
Diabetes. Diabetes.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Bills Mafia, again, comes through and starts, because Mark Andrews was getting death threats and shit,
Which,
right?
again, people, if you do that shit.
What the fuck,
You know
man?
what? Just do us all a favor. Take the death threat, turn it around on yourself.
Please.
Because you're a fucking loser. Stop it. It's just sports, guys.
It's not that serious.
It's not that, in
Come
the grand
on.
scheme of things, it's not that serious.
So relax with that shit. But this poor guy has to deal. Like, not only did he feel bad enough,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that he let the team down,
Yeah.
and on the grandest stage of them all, but that he's getting death threats.
Yeah, that's just absurd.
The Bills Mafia took it upon themselves to start a GoFundMe.
Yep.
In the name of one of his name of his charity or a charity that he backs, and they've raised a ton of money for it, and I think that's fucking awesome. And that's one thing I love about the Bills fan base.
Yeah.
is they do shit like that.
They do. One thing it was funny is after the game, after he dropped the pass and all that shit, it's like he dropped the game-winning 2-point conversion.
It wasn't game-winning.
I'm like,
It would've
tied the game.
It would have tied it.
The Bills still had $1:30 and 2 timeouts left.
It would have
To at
tied
the
game.
very least get in the field goal.
They could have at least gotten a field. Right.
And now, do I trust Tyler Bass? Fuck no. But stop for people to say that it would have he lost the game. No, that's not what happened here. At most, it would have tied the game.
That's narrowing it down to the bare basics of everything.
Right.
So there's a good chance that Baltimore loses that game anyway, even if he catches it.
It's a possibility, but
Right?
obviously we'll never know.
We'll never know. But you can't say that he lost that game. If you're going to narrow it down to one fucking play, okay, fine. They didn't win the game because he didn't catch it. But even if he catches it, they might not win the game anyway.
Right.
It would have, like you said, they had like $1:30 left for Buffalo.
And 2 timeouts.
And 2 timeouts.
Yep.
It would have tied the game, guys.
Right.
Right. Now, is it a big error? Is it a big blunder?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It was right in his hand.
Right in his hands.
And as it happened, I wasn't rooting for either team. But as it happened, I went, oh, what the fuck, man? How do you drop that?
Yeah.
Yes,
I couldn't believe
it. Was
it.
a
I was like,
it was a
holy
huge blunder.
It really
but
was, yeah.
let's get real with the fact that one play lost him the game.
Yeah.
And with the fact that just he's the one person responsible for the
it's
loss.
kind of like you go back to we'll just say the 86 World Series, right? The ball gets by Buckner.
Right.
What people don't realize about that entire thing, the game was already tied.
Right.
When that happened. Mm-hmm. Like, the Mets didn't win the game because of that. The game was already tied. Like, so, yes. Who knows? Say they don't score. Say Buckner doesn't make that error.
Right.
The game is still tied.
Right.
Like,
it's not like
Yeah.
they would win the game. They
Right.
just would not have lost
They just kept going. Gone into extra innings, whatever. But,
Right.
Yeah, the people don't want to see stuff like the actual things that go into around that situation.
No.
About that play. It's like, okay, all right. Anyways,
No, it's very narrow thinking.
very, very. But getting back to just the game itself again, Why didn't you use Derrick Henry more?
I don't know, man.
I don't get it. This 2 years in a row you've done this.
So he only had 16 carries. We
I
just
know.
we just talked about Saquon had 26.
Right.
Derrick Henry had 16 carries. He was ripping them out for 5.3 a pop.
Especially in the second half.
I don't know what they were doing.
I don't either. Like in the first half, you clearly saw the Bills' game plan. Stop him.
Yep. Which they did.
Which they did. Make Lamar beat you.
But in the second half, they weren't stopping him anymore.
They were not stopping him anymore. So
and that's what a guy like Derrick Henry can do, though.
Yeah.
Because by the time the second half comes around, guys are getting tired. They're getting
cold.
winded. It's cold as
We're
shit.
hurt, yeah.
They're hurting.
Yeah.
They're sore. Like, you don't want to take on a freight train
no.
in the cold.
Hell no.
So people are making business decisions.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And even when they
Yeah.
go to hit him, they might flinch a little bit before
bit.
they do it. And then he breaks the tackle.
Yeah.
He was ripping off 5.3 a pop in that game.
And again.
And he got 16 carries.
16 carries.
If you give him the same amount of carries as Saquon had, 10 more carries,
They probably win that game.
they probably win that game.
I don't disagree with that. And again, he did the same thing last year in the AFC Championship game. Like, I know they didn't have Derrick Henry at that point, but
they were still ripping off runs last year. Yeah.
They were. But your whole offensive game plan in that particular game, last year's AFC Championship game, you decided you wanted to throw the ball all over the fucking place, which that's not what your offense is predicated on. It's like
not at all.
So you got to look at the OC and go, what the fuck are you doing? You know,
I don't understand it, man.
I didn't get it. I'm sitting here watching the second half. I'm like, why is Derrick Henry not running the ball more? They're ripping off like 5-6 yards a fucking pop.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it. It made no sense to me. But anyways,
yeah. That's one that I don't understand, bro.
No, I didn't get it either.
But I mean, the Bills are moving on.
Bills are moving on, which is cool. Very, very excited about that. But
I'm happy about that.
But as like the meme says, it's like no doubt about it. I'm ready to be hurt again. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think this is the most up in the air I've been as to who's going to win the Super Bowl in a long time.
Yeah, I mean that's but we've kind of said that all season. There's not that one dominant team this year. There just isn't.
There really wasn't. I mean, for a while it was the Lions.
Yeah.
And then again, we talked about it. Injuries played a big part in going. All right, well,
maybe not.
So I mean, again, you look at it, and like we talked about, regular season doesn't mean shit, really. Kansas City's gotten healthy towards the end of the season here.
Yep.
They got Marquise Brown back, which, if he can actually hold on to the football, is a decent ad for them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a speed receiver. If he can catch the football, that adds something. I really think all four of these teams have a shot. I really do. I know Washington. Everyone's gonna be like, "Wow, they spent their shot last week." I don't think so, man.
I don't think that's how it works in the playoffs.
I don't. I think they have the ability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to, but I would never say they don't have the ability and they don't have the chance to beat Philly.
Well,
they do.
Like, not to mention, yeah, they have a head coach that has taken a team to a Super Bowl before as a coordinator. He knows how to get there.
Yes. So this, like I said, I really think in the last 5-6 years, this is the most up in the air I've been as to. I really don't know who the fuck's going to win the
I
Super
don't know.
Bowl.
It should be,
and I'm kind of just looking forward to watching the games.
It should be a fun championship Sunday, hopefully. Anyway, just looking at these games, like you were just talking about, with the Commanders again, they're not supposed to be here.
Nope.
So I think they're going to walk into Philly, division rival.
So here's the other thing, guys. They've played twice this year. They're in the same division.
Yeah.
They split. So Washington already beat Philly once.
Yep. Yeah.
They can do it again.
I don't see why not.
I don't either.
I don't see why not. And then on the flip side, you got Bills and Chiefs part, 9, 8, 27? I don't know.
Well, and the narrative is Allen can't beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
And it's
right.
It's a true narrative because he
Okay,
can't.
To this
he
point,
hasn't.
to this point, it's a narrative. But I will say, they beat him pretty good this year. It was a 9-point win.
I know
They won.
I know.
I'm just saying.
It was in Buffalo.
Just saying.
And
it
injuries, whatever. It's hard to put stock in those games, though. It really is. Like, because you could have said the same thing about the Bills and Ravens.
Right.
The Ravens thumped them.
Right.
in the
No,
regular season.
but we discussed how that game was different than, than this playoff game. And this is different, too. KC, again, I just said it. KC's gotten healthier.
Yep. The Bills, for the most part, have gotten healthier.
The Bills have gotten healthier.
Yeah.
This isn't in Buffalo like that game was. It's in Kansas City. But again, you can't really look at past narrative, too, and go, well, until somebody other than Tom Brady beats Mahomes in the playoffs, I'm just always going to think that Mahomes is going to win. No. That's that. To me, that's again, that's narrow-minded thinking.
Right. I mean, it's not like the Bills are walking into Arrowhead and going, "Oh my God, we're at Arrowhead." They've been there before.
Exactly.
They've been there. They know what to expect. They've been there before. It's not like this is new to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Treat it like any other game. Like, let's go. I just, I don't know. Just looking. It's good games. Let's go. Championship Sunday, man. It's one of the best things in sports.
With that being said, do we have anything else before we get in the picks? We don't even have many picks this week, so we only got 2.
We only have 2. No, as far as I know, no.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
It's time!
Yes, the Championship Sunday playoff picks. Obviously, we only have 2 games to choose from here.
That's it.
We'll start off with the AFC Championship game, Bills-Chiefs. Joe, you and Eric took Buffalo. Frank and I took Kansas City.
Shut up. I hate you.
And for the NFC Championship game, you 3 took Philadelphia. I took Washington.
Motherfucker.
And those are this week's picks.
You ever get their burps and farts out of the way?
I think so.
Oh, man. So if you want to go watch those games anywhere, I would choose Tap and Barrel Grill in Shelby Township. They're one of the newest sports bars in Metro Detroit. This upscale sports bar features over 40 craft beers on tap, handcrafted cocktails, a delicious scratch-made food menu that includes the specials for the month, chimichurri rainbow trout, tap pot pie, the super burrito, which looked amazing, by the way.
That did look amazing.
With slow braised shredded beef, and the burger of the month, which is the Tap and Barrel French onion burger. Again,
burgers are good.
Yeah, you had a burger. The steak bites with that zip sauce.
3 a.m. burger, baby.
That zip sauce with the steak bites was amazing.
Biting in that fucker with the egg just dripping down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So good.
And if you go there, the quesadilla was fantastic. You have to get that.
Yes.
This bar has a very comfortable feel, a very attentive staff, and their fine dining food options make it a must-visit spot for sports fans and foodies alike.
TVs everywhere.
Everywhere. Whether you're watching the big game or just looking for a great meal, Tap and Barrel Grill has you covered. It's Tap and Barrel Grill. Visit them at 50055 Van Dyke Avenue in Shelby Township, or go to tapandbarrelgrill.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Anything else you want to get into for today? No. Anything else on tap?
Nothing that I can think of. You got anything?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. That was it.
Let's end this bitch.
All right. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out SOTDET.com. Click on shop, buy some stuff, support us. And while you're there, click on all of our sponsors' logos. Go to their sites, give them a like, a share, and a follow as well. Yep. SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
Hey.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.